Hey guys, and welcome back to another DVG After Hours podcast with obviously your favourite host, me.
And someone who's just here to fill this chair, so it doesn't
someone
look
to
weird.
argue with.
So let's take, for example, making them a cup of tea. All three of the little ones, they love a cup of tea. They always want me to make a cup of tea, right? We've got mugs with their names on them, okay? How simple is that? There's no choices to be made. They've got Maddie wants the one with Chloe's name on it.
Yeah,
that's
always.
the one she wants. No, I want the Chloe one.
Yeah.
That's not a choice. You've got the same one with your name on it. So now they're arguing. So I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Chloe, can she have yours? She's like, yeah, as long as I can have Sophie's one. I'm like, what's going on? Sophie's like, as long as I can have your one, Dad. Now it's like this, such a simple thing. I'm making a cup of tea. Everyone's got their own mug.
Yeah.
Why is this so difficult? Those are the kind of things that I find hard. I don't remember having it. I don't know if I look back with rose tinted glasses with Kaci and Grace, but I feel like it was so much easier. Like so much easier.
Do you remember there was a
They
time...
didn't seem to play us up as much as these lot do.
No, you're definitely looking back with Rose. Grace didn't, but Kaci was so cheeky. Kaci, I remember once you told her off and you was like, right, sit on that chair, keep your bum on that chair.
It was like a little, it was like a little stool
like a kiddie chair.
I was like, you don't take your bum off that seat until I say so.
Yeah, like basically a naughty chair. And then all of a sudden you look over and she's walking away with the bum, with her bum arch, like with the chair against her bum, like walking away.
So the chair's stuck to her bum.
She's like, well,
I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, well, the chair is still on my bum.
She's just trying to change rooms.
Like, that is genius. Very clever, but very, very annoying. But yeah, no, she was actually quite cheeky. But I feel like...
Oh, no, or...
I feel like Chloe and Maddie are like a new breed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like
I was just going to say she is because... So what was I saying to her? Oh, I was talking to her about her manners. And then I'm literally trying to have this really conversation, like this really tough conversation with her. Like, you know, you must remember to say please, thank you, like respect, blah, blah, blah. She's like, I farted. Right? So I'm like, yes, I know you have. I can smell it. So I try my hardest to continue at her level.
Sarah was really in the moment, right? And you could see, I could see on your face that you were getting a whiff of this thing, and you would like.
I went, yes, I can smell it.
Yes, I can smell it, and you tried to carry on, right? And
In
then
the end,
halfway through, she went, "Oh, it stinks."
Yeah, it stinks. Move over here. I had to move her over to tell her off over here to get away from her fart.
God.
But that's what she's like. She's just like, I'm in mid like talking to her.
She just lets rip,
and
like,
she's like, I just farted.
Care.
I'm like, honestly, like her brain, like yours, just.
What do you mean? Why do I get
ADHD brain
sucked into this?
No, because I can imagine if I was talking to you, you'd be like, how you was. You was looking over here. And I'm like, well, hello? Like, she's you.
No, she's not me. But no, like Maddie and Chloe, the thing is, all three of them are challenging in their own way. They're all lovely. We love these kids. They are blessings, but they are difficult.
They are cheeky. They are.
It's just it's the nonsense that just winds me up. It's the constant nonsense of like where we're going to sit in the car.
Oh, no. Oh, the funniest is at the minute is Sophie doesn't know how to use
the air quotes.
The air quotes.
Like from Friends. You remember when Joey in Friends, he kept using it in the wrong context.
And what did she say about Chloe the other day? Oh, it was we were in our bedroom and she was saying something.
About me?
What did she say? Oh, it was so funny. I can't remember now. But she was basically like, oh, you want to get in the bath?
Yeah, she was going, oh, you want to have a bath? Like this.
And Joe was like, you don't even know how to use it.
But then she used it in the right context, right? And just like Friends, I was like, oh, you actually did it right. She's like, thanks. And then she did it wrong again. I was like, oh, that's exactly what Joey does. You know what, though? I'd say Ryan's had the biggest glow up out of anyone here, right? We look back at pictures of Ryan, right? Not that we thought anything bad about you then, but like, you've had...
You were fugly.
Damn, you fugly.
Yeah, like, obviously, like...
Oh, wedding day pictures. I'm like, when did I marry a fat 12-year-old?
Yeah, I don't look back at them fondly. I've got to be honest. I look back and I'm like, damn, I look ugly. What's going on here? I needed a beard when I was 12.
I mean, I thought you were handsome. I loved it.
I can picture it.
Should we insert a wedding picture now?
Oh, please don't.
Oh my god!
Try and find a really bad one.
Oh,
It's only as you've got better, we realised that how you look, because you just looked normal before, but now I look back at pictures like, who would have thought? But also because you recently, you
I've done that.
hair off,
Yeah.
and it really suits you.
Yeah.
I only grew a couple
Hitting
of
the gym.
muscles.
Yeah.
A couple of muscles, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. But to be honest,
Yeah.
I
You
haven't
can't
had any
flex because
gym.
the microphone's there. We
God.
definitely would have.
I'll be laughing all day about that fat 12-year-old.
Oh dear.
Oh man.
The funny story, right? So Sarah is having like major contractions. She's just in her zone. She's rocking. So you're standing up. You're kind of like, you've got your hands on the bed, but you're rocking side to side, and you're just in the zone. This is what you get into. You get in your zone, right?
Yeah.
Midwife comes in and is basically just,
Obviously, I had a nightie on.
so yeah, Sarah has a nightie on. Her legs are like apart, like standing,
The baby-
swaying.
Yeah.
This midwife just gets onto the floor, lays down, right, and just slides herself under Sarah whips out a torch like a mechanic. Like she's checking what's under the hood. Like, yes, I can fix that. It's going to run you about $300. But it was just the way that she did it. Just so matter of
just,
fact.
like,
She just slid herself in there. I had a look up, went, yeah, okay, cool.
I was so in the zone, I didn't even notice.
I'm like, what's the damage? Like it was just, honestly, the way she did it just cracked me up. You were like none the wiser.
No.
But
she was saying how she was like saying to you to watch, because basically I started with you, I'm standing, and she was like, look how deep I was getting, and by the end I'm like really down low. She was like, you could tell the baby's dropped. So she was she was just brilliant. She was really good.
what would you do if you found out the girls bunked off school?
I mean, I don't know, because they never have, but like I couldn't imagine Grace doing it. Maybe Chloe when we get there. So I don't want to say too much in case she does.
I think I wouldn't be like super angry or annoyed.
No.
I felt like I got grounded for it, and I felt like it's just really unfair because I didn't have a good day anyway when I bunked off. So
Well, we actually tried to encourage Grace to be a little bit naughty at school, because a little bit of background here. She has anxiety just about school. At home, the holidays, she's fine, but something about school.
She's had it literally since nursery.
Nursery.
One of the things that she would be worried about is getting in trouble, but she never gets in trouble.
Honestly, she's never had a
like,
falling out of a friend. She's never she's so good. So good.
I was basically saying to her, well, you're like, you've got like an irrational fear of like getting in trouble with a teacher. So I was like, you almost need to like get in trouble so you can see it's not really that bad.
Yeah.
So it's like, just do like little naughty things at school, like just get in trouble, just so you can see, like, if you get detention, it's like not the end of the world. Like, and we were like giving her ideas of things that she could do. And she
idea,
was like,
you
nah.
laughed at me because I said, I know, be real naughty, go in the bathroom, get wet tissue and throw it on the ceiling.
Oh my God, that is such a bad prank. Like,
You're like...
no one even catches you doing it. It's just, you've just done it for no reason. Like,
Well, I was like, oh gosh, that's not loud. I was like, back in my day, that's what they would do. You and her looking at me like, oh my gosh.
yeah. But she didn't get in trouble. She has had a couple of detentions, but not for like naughty stuff, just more for like...
Mostly like if it's traffic and she's late for school and I'm like, that's my fault, or whoever.
Anyway, back to this game. So
yeah, sorry.
basically,
Okay,
I would probably just ground them for one evening, and if they had something really, really that they wanted to do, like they had a party with their friends,
Yeah.
I'd probably just let them go.
Yeah, you would.
Defer the grounding to another day when they had nothing on,
You would.
and they're probably going to stay at home anyway.
Well done.
So I once said that I hate it when people say to people, oh, I was going to buy you this thing, and then they didn't.
Oh.
It's like, oh, actually, I was going to buy you this jumper the other day. It's like, what do you want me to say? Thanks.
And
Like,
you did
why are you
that
telling
to me.
And you said I did that to you. So then you accused me of doing it, right? Because I said that I was going to buy you something, right? And then you said that I never bought it for you. But there was a reason why I didn't buy it for you, wasn't there? So when me and Sarah got out one day shopping, she saw a pair of like sandals that she wanted, but then I was going to buy them for her because she didn't buy them, right? But then the reason I didn't buy them is because you mentioned that you had or were going to order them, and I wasn't quite sure if you definitely had or you would. So I was waiting to see if they arrived before I bought them, and if they didn't arrive or you did get them, I was going to get you the pair that you have on now.
Yeah.
So once I realised that you didn't want
But
those
did
ones,
you or did you not say it? That's what I'm saying. It wasn't like
I didn't say I was gonna. I said, oh yeah, there's something. I was basically saying like, oh, there's something I'm gonna get you.
no, because
And anyway,
you didn't.
did I get you something?
you did. Thank you very much. I was very
Look how lovely they are. Show them.
No, I can't get my toes out.
You,
why are you doing
you're
that
walking
to me?
around with your toes out.
Yeah,
anyway.
but not on that camera for like
Zoom in. Can we get
zoom into my toes. Oh,
Yeah.
thank
So
you.
anyway, I don't do that. I had every intention of buying you something. I just didn't know which one I was buying you. I had to wait to see if you bought it for yourself.
Right. Aggressively, why are you talking to me like that? Right.
Because you
Secondly,
exposed me on this podcast
I was
saying that I
very
did it.
thankful that you got them. I was actually very thankful. That was very sweet of you. Not taken away from how sweet that was. But did you or did you not say I was going to buy you something, but I didn't? You should have.
No, I didn't say that.
Yes, you
I said,
did.
oh,
You was in the
I was.
kitchen and you said,
What did
well, I
I
was
say?
going to buy you something, but I didn't. And I'm like, you've just done what you said you hate on the podcast. And you even went, oh gosh, I've done that. You went, but to be fair, I still might get them for you, right?
Yeah.
You then did, but you did what you said. You hadn't.
I
bought them
don't know
in that
why I
moment.
said that though, because I think it was more like I was trying to have the conversation because I was trying to figure out if there's a way that I could figure out whether or not to get you that thing or not. But
Oh, you
anyway,
did what you said you hated.
but I did follow
There's a
up and I
couple
did
of
buy
things.
you something.
You had to because you couldn't not. You could not after that because I'd be sat
But
here being like,
on the day that we went shopping, you tried on the ones you've got on and the other ones, so I had every intention of buying them for you.
oh, thanks. I then go into the WhatsApp group.
Guys, it is about to escalate.
I go into the WhatsApp group. There's 38 mums and dads on this group
From
And-
Chloe's class.
from Chloe's class. And this mum has put in the group saying, there was an incident today at school and my child was very humiliated, very embarrassed. Can you all speak to your children to remind them they all need to be kind? I am not tolerating this. Blah, blah, blah. It was like bad. Now, when I tell you this, like all the mums were assuming the worst.
Because
Right.
again, it didn't actually say what the incident involved, the joke. It didn't say the kids' names, right? But I was out. Sarah rung me and told me about this, and I was like, so
Because also,
fuming.
the point is that everyone's replying like, "Oh my gosh, yes, I'll speak to my child. I'm so sorry for such and such.
Like poor such and
poor
such.
such and such. I can't believe this happened to him
He's-
today.
he's such a nice
And then the
boy, and
mum's
it's
like, "Thank you all for your support." And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? You kidding me?"
So
So now
the thing
I'm
is, right,
livid.
The thing is, right, that message was so unnecessary, and actually it was malicious, right? Because even though she did not mention Chloe's name, we all know what's going to happen, right? Every single parent in that group is going to be ringing all of their friends being like, what has happened? The gossip is going to go crazy.
Yeah.
They're going to be asking their kids what happened at school today, because she's asked them specifically to speak to every single
Yeah.
one of their kids.
Now my point in this that I was
Keeping
really
in mind that this
strongly-
incident involved 3 people.
yeah.
The boy that was humiliated, Chloe that made the joke, and another girl who
Oh,
laughed.
and can I also say, like, so this incident that seems so bad, Chloe has a very strict teacher. She wasn't in trouble by the teacher. She hadn't been told off.
Because the
but
teacher
she
did
ha-
get told
She,
about it.
yeah. The boy actually wasn't very upset in school, is what I'd found out from all the other mums of the children that I talked to. But my point was, in this setting that really upset me, she has like a handful of friends that know me, know Chloe well enough to know her character, right? We all know, everyone that watches the pod knows Chloe well enough that, yes, she's sassy and she can be difficult, but she's not malicious. She's not a horrible, nasty child. Like, she wouldn't want to upset anyone, right? So my point was, to the mums that know her, when they hear, oh, Chloe said it looks like poo, or however she said it, which what 6-year-old doesn't find poo funny? I mean, and then they can be like, oh, yeah, Chloe wouldn't have said that in a malicious way. But the 32 other parents that don't know Chloe or me or us well enough, that's tainted her name of being like, you could then think the worst of Chloe. And once
But
that's
also,
in your
like-
head of a child being not a nice child.
But also, like, it's going to start Chinese whispers, because all these parents are going to ask their kids what has happened at school. What has happened at school with this kid? And the kids could just come out with like stuff, random stuff like that, and it all could spread and get worse. It could end up Chinese whispers to the point that Chloe said something wild
And
and
even
crazy,
after-
yeah? And so I'm like, that message was so intentional to be malicious to basically, it was like revenge. It was like start gossip about Chloe. That is what it was. There's no, why would you need to speak to 38 children or whatever when there was 3 kids involved?
And also taking the point of like, okay, he may have felt that way. And I get that. Like the whole point of this isn't about it not being like the boy being humiliated.
No, because you've already apologized and you've had a private chat.
And that's why I'm saying, like in the private chat, I was very apologetic. I still, even with this whole situation, I still the next day, even though I was livid, I still had words with Chloe, even to the point where she's like, Mum, why are you talking to me again about it? Because to her, it wasn't even an issue. But I'm now making it an issue because I don't want her to make somebody feel like that at school. So the situation, before anyone thinks like,
yeah, of
this
course.
conversation
but anyway,
isn't about that. It's about the mum.
Then obviously Sarah did go back and reply, and what was your reply?
I can't even remember it. It was
okay, so
long.
I remember it. Okay, so basically, the reply was essentially like,
well, basically, I wanted everyone to know what the actual situation was.
let's just cut the gossip and the rumors. Let's not need every parent ringing around asking their kids gossiping. So it's like, address exactly what happened. Okay, so the incident that this mum is talking about, this is in the group to everyone.
And this is what was said. Bit, even though
Chloe said to so-and-so, you're discussing youth poo because he had wet leaves on the bum. Inappropriate joke by a 6-year-old. But what is even more inappropriate is this parent messaging in this group to 38 parents, of which, other than one other parent, none of them are involved. None of their kids are involved, asking them to go and talk to their kids. We all know that this is like, we all realise that is going to create massive curiosity to the point where every parent in here is now wondering what on earth has happened. It's going to start gossip, start rumours. That's obviously the intention of the message. We've already spoke privately about it. There was literally no reason for this whatsoever other than to try and start gossip about Chloe. That is completely not on. Inappropriate for an adult to do that and really disappointing.
Yeah.
More disappointed in this mum than I am in Chloe for making the joke, because it's way worse. So anyway, that was it. Then you left the group.
I left the group, and then I did have like mums message me to be like, you're right, like I did they thought the worst, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Is
the mums were messaging like,
the message
oh my
come
God,
across,
like,
they thought it was something so serious, and then when they worked out it wasn't, they were like, that shouldn't have been put on the group chat, like, you know. And that's the kind of, I left the group. I had mum's message to be like, yeah, we were talking about it afterwards because we were intrigued. So your message was so spot on. It was very nicely put. I wasn't nasty. I wasn't like, it wasn't confrontational. It was more facts. It was like, the facts. And everyone said it was really well written, but yeah.
And then one of the other mums who set up the group basically wrote like, this is not what this group is for. It is for like invitations for parties. It's like community.
Updates,
like there's literally no need for this. So like, please don't do that anymore. And then we didn't hear anything more from the mum. We don't actually know the mum. I wouldn't even know who she was if we saw it in the playground.
But little story time now, because so we had a girls' villa, but it actually got burgled. Dun dun dun.
People wanted more crazy stories, like the kidnap story.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't think
this isn't as crazy as that, but it is kind of crazy. But yeah, so we went out. So this night we all went out, and we'd already had a couple of heavy nights of drinking. So some of us were feeling a bit more fragile, like myself, for example. And I remember we were in this bar and I was like, I'd rather just be anywhere but here right now. I'm like so hungover. I'm done. And then so me, you, who else?
Lauren and Ellie, yeah. I think there was
4 of us. So we were like, oh, let's all just go back to the girls' villa.
Oh, bearing in mind, firstly, we received a message the day before about someone saying, because we'd been posting pictures, and someone had messaged saying, I stayed in this villa, it got robbed, so really be careful. So we did everything that we could have done. We set the alarms, we locked up, you know, we didn't leave any spare
Made sure
key.
every single
windows were shut, and they had like the bars, like honestly, like what we felt we had done.
Secure.
We'd done that. So we're like, no, okay, cool. And always in your head you think maybe they left it open, or you just don't know. But we fully secured it. And then so we obviously had the girls and the boys villa, but you came for a sleepover with me.
Oh, kinky.
No, it's actually because the boys weren't leaving, and we were. So you came back.
Well, I wasn't going to go back to the boys villa on my own, and then obviously I thought I'd just come back.
No, which I'm so glad you did. Meant to be, because We then pull up, and at first we saw, wasn't it like the blind was open in the kitchen, or there was something? The window was open in the kitchen. As we first
It was the
pulled
shutter.
up.
It was the outdoor
Yeah.
shutter was open.
And we were like, we've definitely.
And Ellie said, no, 100% she went, I went around the whole house and 100% shut everything. So it's quite eerie.
So we were
It's quite
already-
late at
yeah.
night. And
scared.
then we went in.
Well, Lauren went in
Oh.
first. She walked in, but basically when you walk in, you have the kitchen, but then just after the kitchen is a little bathroom. And weirdly, now, whenever you've stayed in a villa, the safe is never in the bathroom. So this is why we think also they must have just known they've targeted this house before, because basically Lauren walked in and
We were still outside because we were behind her.
Yeah,
She walks in, she looks to the right and she screams. I thought she'd seen a dead body or something.
yeah.
That's how.
or there was someone there facing
Or there was someone
her.
there. She screamed. And then
So
she was
Joel
like,
ran the other way.
no, I didn't. I pushed past and I went, don't worry, I'm here to
No,
save
but
the
basically
day.
she screamed because the whole safe had been ripped off the wall, and the safe was gone, and in this safe was all our passports, money, weird, like I had a Louis Vuitton bag and I'd put that in there. My friend had a Hansa G swim costume and felt that was valuable to her, so that was in there. Like we all had something that was valuable.
Imagine
but most
putting a
important, like
swimsuit
our
in there.
passports. Now bear in mind we was like gonna go
And an iPad. I think someone put an iPad in
oh,
there.
and phone. Lauren's phone was in there. So that, but then when we went round, we'd looked and they'd literally ransacked our suitcases. They'd taken jewelry, sunglasses, like everything that was of value. But they had never searched anything to do with the house, like other than our suitcases and the safe. They knew exactly where the safe was. You know, like the whole place wasn't ransacked.
Yeah. Well, we actually started thinking it was an inside job. We've like, just the whole thing just felt really odd. But also, so we went up into Sarah's room, and
My room was like up and at the back. It was
you
probably
had
the
like a Louis,
furthest point.
you had a Louis Vuitton makeup bag, and it had been emptied out, but it hadn't been taken. And then we went into your bathroom, and the bathroom window was wide open. So basically, what we come to the conclusion is they were in there when we got home,
Yeah.
and we startled them.
Because basically, I was sharing a room with your sister. So if we'd had a sleepover, she wouldn't have been in there, by the way.
That's weird.
No, but I just need to point that out because what people pick up on things, just to be clear.
I would have been sleeping on the sofa downstairs.
Yeah. But basically, yeah, in mine and her room, we had quite a lot of valuable stuff in there, but they hadn't taken it other than it looked like they would tipped it out. So that's why we're pretty sure when we've come home, it startled them. They've jumped out the window, whatever they've done. But obviously now,
Which is even more crazy to think they were in the house when we got home.
yeah.
And that also you lot might have gone back there by yourselves.
And then the way we found they'd come in is basically in the downstairs bedroom. They'd literally taken out the window pane, the whole window, nicely put it on the grass, and the bars that we thought literally just popped out. So they obviously know it.
Yeah, I mean, it was ridiculous.
Because
Like,
nothing was broken. And I really believe that if we'd come back in time, it would have been locked up. That would have been back in. We would have had no idea. We then checked, and the alarm didn't even work either. So again, if you're going to rent a villa, just before you even go out, check the alarm works.
If you go to Ibiza and you rent a villa, just know it is rife for getting burgled over there. Like, because then the more that we spoke about it with other people, and we just realised that this is happening all the time.
Yeah.
And even the safe isn't safe.
And
They
then
literally
we
took
did
the whole
find
safe.
out that villa itself had been
Burgled
quite
multiple
a few
times.
So it was, yeah.
Which is just really irresponsible of the owners to be still just letting it out without
Yeah.
actually putting better security measures in.
Definitely.
Like
But
proper
the
metal
maddest
bars.
thing about this all is that obviously, like, bearing in mind, because I'm trying to remember what we've just said, but the passports have gone.
They're
And
in
then
the safe.
Us girls, we're all mums and we're all freaking out. Well, I wasn't, but all my friends and everyone, but now everyone's come back because we've said we've been robbed and everyone is freaking out. Girls are crying. They're like, how can I get home? I can't fly home. I've got one person saying, that's it, I'm cancelling my passport in case I try and sell it. I'm like, listen, don't do that. Don't cancel anything. I'm saying to everybody, because then people are starting to listen to someone like, should we cancel it? I'm like, don't cancel your passport. I've got this gut feeling we're getting them back. everyone's like looking at me like some crazy lady. I said, I'm telling you.
Mate, I was one of those people looking at you.
I'm
like
saying,
crazy
Joel,
lady.
please walk with me around this villa. I feel like they're going to be outside somewhere. You're like, no, absolutely not. We're
I'm
not
like,
doing
they're
that.
gone. They've
Your
taken that
passports are
safe.
gone. So I'm like, I'm not going to cancel my passport. I'm not going to do anything. I was like, I'm not going to act rash, like, but just hold out. So
Sarah's just going to sit there with her crystals and manifest that we're getting the passports
manifest
back.
does it for you. I'm telling you. So basically, one girl did cancel her passport and then the rest didn't. So the next morning we look and my friend's phone, who was in the safe, then has signal. It is on fine, like we find my iPhone, and it's in the middle of a field in the middle of nowhere.
No, but it wasn't it behind. It was behind the villa.
Yeah, but like in a field.
Yeah, there was a field behind the villa,
Yeah.
and the phone was pinging up that it was there.
Yeah. So well, only 5 of us because we only had one car, but drove there, and literally in the middle of this field was this safe open with only our passports and her phone in it. So they took everything else, but they left them passports.
Which is insane because I did not believe you for a second that they were going to get them passports back, and you were like, "No, I just feel like we're going to get them back."
I just
and
knew.
we got them back. It's mad.
It's
actually mental.
I have a really good gut feeling. Like it is pretty
Should
mad.
be playing the lottery more often.
No, gut feeling we ain't gonna win.
Oh, yeah. Also, that actually reminds me, when Kaci and Grace were like really little and we were on a flight back from America, there was a guy in front of us and he had 3 seats to himself and he laid out on these seats, right? Blanket, everything. Like literally, this guy thought he was in a hotel room.
Nice.
And one of our kids was like crying and acting up or whatever. Just normal, nothing crazy, just normal. He literally was like tutting and huffing and puffing, and he eventually sat up and he peered over to me and he was like, I think there are actually other seats available. Like,
Then
as
move
in
to
we move. I was
then
like,
move to
oh,
them.
cool.
Yeah.
Then like
Yeah.
feel free to move then. But he didn't want to give up his 3 luxury seats of a bed, but wanted to basically tell me to move.
Acting like he's in business class, but not being in business class.
Yeah, but that is the only experience in all of the years, like in 18 years of, and we've been on so many flights with our kids, that's the only experience I've ever had where someone...
That is part of the reason why I wouldn't take my kids in business class as well. 1, money before anything. But 2, I do think like you're paying for that. You're paying for a really relaxing flight. The amount of money you pay. So if we did have our kids who are running up and down.
Yeah, imagine if you actually...
I then would be feeling like I'm being judged and I'd be like on tenterhooks.
When the ride come to a stop, it was still sort of like quite dark, and Casey's like, Chloe. And I was like, what? And then Chloe all of a sudden went and like woke up. She had like passed out on the ride.
Yeah.
And she was like going to Casey like, what happened? Like, did it go outside or like what did it? She didn't even know what had happened.
She couldn't remember from the taking off bit. So it must have gone at such force, it had made her pass out. I'm then like, we were laughing, like, oh my God, because I don't think we quite believed it. And then afterwards, like the more I thought about it, I was like, oh my goodness, like, in fact, she's passed out. I'm then a little bit freaked out. She's like, can I go on it again? I'm like, absolutely not. I was like, why? She went, well, I don't know what happened in it.
She don't remember it.
She's like, I want to go back on. She's like, and I'm like,
she's a little daredevil.
Yeah.
And she did the Tower of Terror, like the
twice
elevator ride. That is my favorite ride. But the thing is, the first time she went on it, she literally was screaming like terrified.
She was the second time because we didn't get on it the second time. Dad went on it with Kaci.
She didn't look like she was having a good time.
She wanted to go on it. And they're like, well, you sure? Because you were crying on the first one. Yeah. She cried and was crying again, but she can't not, honestly, that kid has got some...
She's like Kaci was like that when she was little as well. Kaci always wanted to do all the big, best rides, fastest rides. Like she's got
Kaci said that ride that she passed out on, she said the same thing as like she couldn't enjoy the ride because she was worrying about Chloe. She was like, she had her arm and her leg over her to make sure she wouldn't fall out. But then all she could see was her head like bouncing around where she would pass out. I was like, oh. You see these on TikTok, there's videos of those slingshots and people pass out. Like,
pass out.
Why? What is it?
The G-force.
What is it? Like what?
G-force.
But what? Like that takes your breath away or...
I don't
What's
actually
it
know.
doing
I don't know
to
what
you?
the
Why
science is. I don't know. But like it can happen to like pilots and stuff like and astronauts.
Pilot's not enough.
No, not commercial pilots.
Oh gosh. I was like, wait, what? When we're on a plane, like give me a new fear.
unlocked.
Yeah, You know me, I'm already scared on a plane.
No,
That's why there's...
As in like fighter jet pilots from the G-Force, as in ones that go super fast.
Oh, should I tell a real story?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when I was younger, I actually did get caught shoplifting.
Criminal.
By my mum. Basically, me and this girl went to our local shop. We stole a few things. Home.
What did you steal?
It was like a pencil and a rubber, that sort of thing. It wasn't big, but she stole quite a few more.
How old were you?
I was in primary school, so probably like 11.
And how did you find that whole experience? Was you really shitting it?
Yeah, of course I was. I was so
I bet
scared.
you was, because I can't never imagine
no, this
you
is
doing
genuinely what happened. So I genuinely, I'm not just saying this because I only stole like
Sounds like she's
one
gonna
or
shift
two
blame.
things, right?
Don't play it
These
down.
girls stole a lot. She then took it home to her mum and said, I bought it for her. Well, we all know, we've heard my childhood stories. We all know I didn't have the money to buy all this stuff for her.
She went, not that Sarah
So
Jane.
I'm playing,
She's poor.
I'm playing on my bike, right, in my little cul-de-sac. All of a sudden I see the mum and her walking towards me with this bag. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Ride my bike. I go indoors. I'm literally waiting on the door. My mum calls me down. She literally tips it out. So they said, "What?" And my mum went, "What did you steal out of all of this?" And I literally picked up the two things. I said, "These." Right? Oh no, it was a pen and a notebook. And the reason I know that is because my mum then kept it in her drawer. And every time I saw this pen and notebook, the guilt, the shame. But
Why didn't your mum return it?
She said she was going
Stolen
to, but
merchandise. She's an accomplice.
Just a little notebook. Anyway, she grounded me for a month, and for a month, every day I had to do a chore, like tidy up the garage, pick up the dog poo in the garden, or like one day I had to pick up the stones in the grass so that they didn't block her lawnmower. Like
She didn't even have a lawnmower.
I had chores every day.
They didn't have grass. They had a gravel driveway.
But what I'm saying is,
That's a lot of stones.
that it was so traumatic. I think if my kids got caught stealing this in the same sort of thing, I would do the same thing because I then didn't want to steal ever again, and I was so scared. So, but going on to parenting, it says it there. Did you ever take any of my parenting skills?
Yeah, so much. You're laughing though, like genuinely yes. Genuinely yes.
Did you actually?
No, I didn't. I was
You learned
saying
how
that's a
not to
show.
do it.
No, like
I was
no,
joking.
genuinely. Like if you ask any of my friends, the amount I talk about Kaci and Grace, it's like they're my kids. So when I'm talking to people who've got teenagers, I'm like, yeah, I know how you feel. Like Grace has done this, she had this house party, and this happened, and Casey's doing this. It's like they're my children.
Yeah.
Because I'm so invested in them. I love them so much. But because Holly's now going through this stage where she's not quite in the young fashion, she doesn't quite fit women's clothing. I just remember all those things from Kaci and Grace.
Yeah.
And I think you've raised incredible young women. And if my girls turn out to be anything like them, I'll be proud.
Oh,
So
thank you.
Which I think they will be.
They are awesome.
I just,
yeah.
like your openness and your truthfulness and your banter and your trust in them. So when I'm thinking about a tough conversation I have to have with Holly, I just think about, okay, let me just try and really set the groundwork now and be really honest with her, just be really truthful, have a really open relationship. That's what I want because that's what you have with your girls. I want that open, trusting relationship.
If you sit back and look, you kind of see the banter that you'll have with one another, like as a group, because we're a part of that as well.
Yeah.
But then,
You're normally the butt of the joke. But
I mean, of course, standard. But when
Always.
It's good because when you're around, I get a day off. You know what I mean?
but the whole point is the fact that when there's something serious that needs to be said or spoken about, you two are both like quick to act on it, and it's still got an open forum at that point.
Yeah.
So it's not just like I'm telling you got to do this, that, or the other. It's very much like I'm going to explain it to you. What have you got back? It's a two-way conversation still.
It's actually quite interesting. I've never really thought about it because obviously the thing is, like, especially with your eldest, it's always like such unknown territory, especially for me and Sarah, because none of our friends had kids.
Yeah.
Right. Some of our friends only just started having kids in the last sort of 5 years. So we didn't really have a lot to go off of like, oh, what did you do when when your kid turned into a teenager? So we were like, it was such unknown territory, but and you still have to learn for yourself. But I guess like you could kind of be like, okay, well, I've seen Sarah and Joel go through this with Kaci.
Even like
Maybe
my
slightly
best
less.
friend says the same thing. She's got now a teenager. And she says the same thing.
It's so
She's
helpful
like-
seeing you guys go through it.
because Maddie's at that stage where she keeps winding Chloe up, and Chloe's a bit more emotional these days, so she cries quite easily.
She's losing her shit with Maddie. So
Yeah, but today
Maddie's a wind up though.
Sophie,
She does have a bit of a wind up in her.
yeah,
Like she's
she
only
does.
2, but you can see she's mischievous.
she does. Well, so today Sophie's screaming at me, saying, "Mum, help, help!" So I can hear Chloe crying. I run down, and Maddie's got a pen and is literally somehow drawing all over Chloe's arm. And Chloe's crying. I'm like, but why are you taking it? You're bigger. Get up. Move away.
Yeah, which is mad because Chloe is such
yeah.
a force to be reckoned with that I don't understand why she's letting Maddie
Because I
take
think
advantage
she
of
just
her.
loves Maddie so much that I think it's like really upsetting her that Maddie might want to do that. And I'm just trying to explain, like, she's learning. She doesn't actually mean to be mean. Like, we just have to explain to her, like, no. Like, I said, go get her a bit of paper and sit with her. Once they did that, they drew really nicely.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Maddie is so cute though. She is like, honestly.
She is.
I'm not going to say she's the cutest, but she's
So cute.
so cute.
She's loving Minnie Mouse at the moment, isn't she? So everything. When I'm getting her dressed in the morning, no, Minnie Mouse. So I have to find something Minnie Mouse.
Yeah.
She comes to
she's
show
got
you
a foreign
what she's
accent
wearing.
apparently. No, Minnie Mouse.
Who's
this little foreign kid?
Because she's a little like, because she can't.
Do you know what?
like-
Every time I get home from work, she looks you in the eye. She has this grin. I look her in the eye. I've got the grin, and she's like, "Mick me," which means get me. And she runs off. And we've got like a sort of island in our kitchen, and I just chase her round and round and round and round the island, and it's literally like her
And
favorite
she never
thing
wants
to
it
do.
to end.
No,
You're like, enough now. No, get me.
Mick me.
Roman up, me.
And now I'm going to tell you about some midwives that are not good. Or ones that I wish I put in a complaint in on. So, who was it that we'd had?
Well, there was that one you told her, do not come in our room.
It was
that one.
Chloe. Yeah, when we had Chloe. So, see, we had Chloe that night. We went into whatever, it's a private room. We weren't private, but sometimes they give you a room, sometimes you're on a ward, whatever. So, it was a room. So, obviously, the next morning, keeping in mind, Sarah had given birth the night before. Obviously, everyone, like, baby's exhausted, Sarah's exhausted, I'm exhausted.
More importantly, we're all sleeping. My baby's sleeping.
We're sleeping, right? We're fast asleep. 6 a.m. This midwife burst through the door. And I mean like burst, like she did not creep in, yeah? She literally flung the door open.
Pulled the curtain
back, lights on, right? And I was like, hello? And she's just like, baby's pooed. Like,
why have you not changed
her? And I'm like, I'm sorry,
oh my
what?
God.
I'm sorry, what? What are we supposed to? Are we supposed to stand there watching to see if she poos? Like, what?
We're asleep.
We're asleep. Like,
yeah.
she's like, baby needs feeding. When was the last time she fed? Da 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 da. I'm like, baby's sleeping, mum's sleeping, dad's sleeping. Like, what? We're in a state of shock and confusion. She was so rude,
Made
so
us feel
aggressive.
so bad. Made us feel like the worst parents
She
ever.
spoke to us like this was like our first child. I was honestly at first in shock.
But also, if that is your first child, that's not okay.
No, that's not
okay. Because if your
okay.
baby's sleeping, don't wake a sleeping baby. Like, that's my thing of like...
But
just
also,
let
like, how crap would we have felt if that was our first child? Because you would have made us feel like we are terrible parents, right? Because this was our 4th child, right? So we're very confident in the fact that we know we're good parents. We don't care if a midwife comes in shouting whatever, blah, 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 blah. But I was like, this is our 4th baby. Like, what are you doing? Like, I think she thought it was our first and she could like talk down to us.
You cannot do that.
I went to, like, there was a thing about, I can't remember, it was like milk or whatever.
Yeah,
like
she said, come with me and I'll show you where to put where we keep the milk.
She was so blunt, aggressive. She came, we went to the fridge. I said to her, I don't know what your problem is. I was like, but do not come back in that room. And I'm not kidding. I don't want to see your face. For the rest of the time we're here, if someone needs to come in, send someone else in. You have been so rude and so like abrasive, like, and so disrespectful to my wife and my newborn baby. I was like, do not. We never saw her the rest of the time we was there.
Yeah. But
but the thing is, I'm disappointed in myself for not making a formal complaint, not for us,
for
the sake of
Because
other
we've
people that
had-
she's going to treat like
We've
that.
had so many other friends that it's their first baby and they've come out of hospital feeling so unsure of what to do because they've been given so many different opinions. Because that is the other thing. It's their opinion on how to feed your baby, when to change your baby. Like that's
and obviously,
their opinion,
like
and
you
they're all
do,
different,
but an advice is needed, especially when you're first time parents. Advice is needed, like rudeness and aggressiveness is like just so unnecessary.
I'm not gonna like.
I guess I don't know what was going on in her life. There must have been something going on in her life. She must have been unhappy with
No,
her
because
life or
the
something. I
midwives
don't
are
know.
like this. I'm telling you. There's a lot of midwives.
Whoa! Let's not.
No, not
There's some lovely midwives,
No,
guys.
there is. We just said that, but I'm saying
We
there
love-
are, like,
we
but
love
no, But
midwives.
the amount of stories, I bet you, there's so many stories that would come off of this of how a woman was made to feel when in hospital. Because I know so many of my friends, like,
Yeah.
and I'm only because we're strong enough to be like, no, we are good parents. We do know what we're doing. But
But even like
had it been our first, it would have been completely different.
When me and my cousin Olivia, she would come around our house and we would like play, like we used to watch Disney Channel, like we were proper Disney Channel kids growing up, and our favourites were like Hannah Montana and like Wizard of Waverly Place, right? And obviously I had an obsession with Selena Gomez, so I was like, I'm gonna be like Alex, and I'd always make her be like, you know how in everything there's always like the side character friend.
Harper.
I'd always make her be it. And so if we were doing Wizard of Waverly Place, I was Alex, and if we were doing Hannah Montana, I was Hannah Montana, and she would be like, okay, but can you be Hannah Montana and I'll be Miley Cyrus? And I'd be like, no, because it's the same person. Like I am both of them. You can be, I think, I don't even know what her name was in it. Like all the time she'd have to be the side character.
That's
And you
deep.
used to
She's still
cry
friends with you. I don't know why.
Because you really wanted your name to be Alex.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that now if you was
her.
Alex?
You know, also you got yourself banned from watching Wizards of Waverly Place, right? Because on that program,
she's quite rude.
she's quite rude and sassy to her parents, as were you. And we were like, she's obviously getting this from.
Alex
Yeah.
Russo.
And I rewatched.
So you
I
got banned
rewatched
for, like,
it,
a few
right?
minutes.
Like I rewatched all the series because they're doing a reunion for another series, and so I was like, I need to rewatch it. And I get it. I still want to be her. She's so cool. Like, do you know what I mean? Like when you're
She is
watching
a bit
it,
of a
like,
brat, though, wasn't she? No, I don't know if that's the right
it
word.
doesn't
but,
even
like,
come across like bratty. Just comes across like she's got attitude, but in like a cool way.
yeah,
Like, and no wonder I wanted to be her when I was younger.
yeah. So then you used to give us attitude, so we probably didn't ban you very long watching it because it was like your favorite thing.
I feel like I remember getting banned quite a few times because Wizard of Waverly Place was when I was younger, and then I went on to watching like Kaci Undercover. So nice that Disney would like name a series after me. Thank you so much.
Yeah, she genuinely believes that. So
And I was watching like it would be like they had like a part series, so every week or something they would have the new part, and you banned me right in between on a cliffhanger, and I was fuming.
oh,
I
why
feel like
did I
it's definitely
ban you?
more that were banned on the TV.
Why did I
well
ban
back
you
then.
from it?
I don't
Was
know.
it specifically to do with that?
No,
or just...
I think you used to go through these midlife crises, and I think you used to drag us along with you because you used to, like, I think you just wanted to cut on the TV, and you dragged us along. You also decided you wanted to do green juices, and again dragged us along with you.
Although
I
you
think
did-
this is true. Okay, so where, like, to be fair, I was a much stricter parent when we were younger. I was actually
we did a whole month of no TV. Do you remember
stricter.
that?
yeah.
You
I
made
would
us do
do.
a month.
I'd be like, we're not watching TV.
No
the kids aren't
electronic-
having
yeah.
social media. No electricity.
Electronics.
I was like, whoa, that is pretty
Walking around with our candles.
Electronic.
cold showers. No, I
Oh
wasn't.
my god, no! You did go for a stage because you made us. We were
I did not make you have cold showers.
No,
'cause
no,
that is a-
no, it wasn't cold
You're
showers.
gonna get me cancelled.
You said we had to cut down on the water, so we were only allowed like 5-minute showers.
No,
That was
do you know what?
when Road and Lily and Ralph were living with us. I remember it.
No, do you know what it was? Because
because there's no water
our
left.
water bill went up crazy. Like all of a sudden, it was so expensive. I was
Yeah.
not being tight. I've never been tight.
I
But
actually don't remember that.
On all my iPads, I had to have permission if I could download any app. I wasn't allowed to watch so much stuff growing up.
I wouldn't let you watch Friends.
You wouldn't
I
let me
did
watch
laugh.
Friends.
I said because I remember you saying
You were watching White Chicks with Chloe.
I know this is the
at
thing.
6 you said that Grace couldn't watch Hannah and Miley Cyrus's Wrecking Ball song, and then
Was very
now
provocative.
Chloe is 6 singing Wrecking Ball in the car. I'm like, oh god.
Sarah's the main character. Daniel's just living in a world. Lol. Lol. That. What's going on? And the thing
That's
is, it's not just the
hilarious.
comment. It's the other 68 people who took the time out of their day just to
I'm
hit
upset
like on
there's
that
only
comment.
68 likes on that.
That's
That
you know what? That's
definitely
just
should have had
mad.
more.
Wow.
I think the next comment should be like,
this is going to become a
Sarah-
solo podcast.
This should be Sarah's
Sarah
podcast.
gives the best
and I
advice.
want
Sarah's the main
150
character.
likes. Yeah. Oh, guys.
Feeling pretty hard
thanks.
done by.
I feel the love. I love that.
I'm not feeling the love.
Oh.
It's all right,
Poor
guys.
Daniel.
You know what? Just whatever, comment whatever
Damn,
you want.
Daniel.
Something nice about me. It's fine.
No.
Well,
Oh, gosh. Dinosaur icky.
should we just wrap this up?
Yeah.
Right,
Oh,
guys,
thanks,
this is our last ever
guys.
episode.
Of
Next
me
week,
and
you
Jo-
tune in. It's like
Sarah's-
Sarah after Daniel. Life after Daniel. Okay, guys, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Trying to hit that 100k subscribers, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
Bye, guys. Thank you.